Hello students, this is, before going to crystallography, I have to tell what is about X-ray crystallography. This is the basic of the X-ray crystallography. What is the X-ray crystallography? X-ray crystallography, a form of very high resolution microscopic, enables to visualize protein structure at the atomic level and hence the understanding the of protein function. What is the principle behind X-ray crystallography? It is based on the fact that X-ray are diffracted by the crystal. This is a pattern in which this is a detector. The black shows the detector in which the X-ray and crystal should be bended towards the angle 2 theta. So similarly, the X-ray crystallography is a method of determining the um, arrangement of an atoms within a crystal in the beam in which a beam of X-ray strikes a crystal and causes the beam of light to spread into many specific direction from the angles, intensities from direction and the intensities of these diffracted beams. A crystallographer can produce a three-dimensional pictures of the density of an electron within the crystal because X-ray have wavelengths similar to the size of atoms. They are useful to explore within the crystal. X-ray diffraction. X-ray crystallography uses the uniformity of light diffraction of crystals to determine the crystal of a molecules or atom. Then they use an X-ray beam to hit the crystallized molecule. The electrons surrounding the molecule diffracted as a X-ray hits them. This form a pattern. This type of pattern is called X-ray diffraction pattern. So similarly, this is a X-ray source in which the crystal having to focus the X-ray beam. So from that we have to see in the screen the diffraction pattern. The dot 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 shows the diffraction pattern. So similarly, the diffracted beam should be a causes from the crystal. How it will be a changes from the X-ray crystallographer. So why X-ray, not others? Microscopy. This is the difference. This is a microscopy wavelength and visualization in which the light having the wavelength 3 nanometer, the electron having the wavelength 10 nanometer, X-ray having the zero point 0.1 nanometer 2 or 1 angstrom. So similarly, in 1985, Conrad Reagen, a German physicist, observed while doing some experiment with the discharge tube that when cathode rays are allowed to fall on a metal target that is called as anti-cathode place in their path, a new kind of rays are produced. This radiation are called X-ray. So this is a normal block diagram of cathode ray and anti-cathode. So this is a diagram in which the cathode and anode, in which the anti-cathode should be a diffracted at 2d sine theta, in which the earmark should down the porous position should be a changes from the different wavelength. So similarly, this is the properties of X-ray. You know already properties of X-ray in the lower classes. So similarly, this is the history. What is in the crystal? Crystal used in the X-ray crystallography are visible to naked eye. They contain a vast number of precisely ordered identical molecules. A crystal that is zero point 0.5 millimeter on each side contains around 10 power 15 medium sized protein molecules. When the crystal are fully formed, they are placed in a tiny glass tube with a loop made of nylon, glass rubber or other material depending on the preference of the researcher. The tube or loop is then mounted in the X-ray apparatus directly in the path of the X-ray beam. The shearing force of powerful X-ray beams can be burned crystal through a hole if crystal left too long in their path. To minimize radiation damage, researcher flash freeze their crystal in the liquid nitrogen. So this is a diagram. This is the diagram should be a imperfection of crystal of X-ray diffraction at zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.5 millimeter. Similarly, why do we need a crystal? So this is a diffraction. The diffraction from a crystal molecule, single molecule, would be too weak to be the measurable. So we can use an ordered three-dimensional array of molecule. Even a small protein crystal might contain a billion molecules. If the internal order of the crystal is poor, then the X-rays will not be diffracted to high angles or higher resolution, and the data will not yield a detailed structure. If the crystal is well ordered, then the bifraction will be a measurable at high angles or high resolution, and a detailed structure should be a result. The X-ray are diffracted by the electron in the structure, and consequently the result of an X-ray pattern X-ray experiment is a three-dimensional map showing the distribution of an electron in the crystal. Similarly, this is X-ray crystallography. More than 85% of the protein structure that are known have been determined using X-ray crystallography. Crystallographer aim high-powered X-ray at a tiny crystal containing trillions of identical molecules. The crystal scattered the X-ray onto an electronic detector like a disco ball spraying light across a dance floor. The electronic detector is the same type used to capture image in a digital camera. After each blast of an X-ray, lasting from a few seconds to several hours, the researcher preciously rotate the crystal by entering its desired orientation onto the computer that controls the X-ray apparatus. This enables the scientist to capture in three dimensions how the crystal scattered or diffracts in X-rays. So similarly, this is a simple diagram in which the crystal sealed in a capillary tube inside an X-ray is, from that X-ray diffractor. The detector should be a film in the researchers of the intensity of each diffracted ray is fed into the computer, which uses a mathematical equation called Fourier transform to calculate the position of every atom in the crystallized molecules. So this is a step in the structural determination. First one is a protein purification. Number two is a protein crystallization. Number three is a data collection. Number four is a structure solution. Number five is a structural determination, model building and refinement structure. So this is the simple the diagram of crystal in which the diffraction pattern should be a model building from the phase and the fitting curve of the atomic molecules. So similarly, this is the first one is a protein purification. Number two, this is a X-ray infrastructure should be calculated from the different from the protein crystallization. So similarly, this is a method of growing protein crystal, that is a vapor diffusion, hanging drop method. So you know very what is meant by hanging drop method. This is most probably in the crystallization, the drop of protein solution is suspended over a reservoir containing buffer and precipitant. Water diffuses from the drop to the solution, leaving the drop with the optimal crystal growth condition. So similarly, this is a different hanging method from the crystal at the 1 millimeter should be calculated from the different solution. So this is an example ammonium sulfate solution or polyethylene glycol. So from that, the exposing the X-ray, the crystal is placed is in an intense beam of X-ray, usually of a single wavelength, producing the regular pattern of reflection. As the crystal is gradually rotated, previous reflections disappear and the new ones appear. The intensity of every spot is recorded at very orientation of the crystal. Multiple data sets may have to be collected, with each set covering slightly more than half a full rotation of the crystal and typically containing tens of thousands of reflection. So similarly, the data collection, data collection, the source of X-ray is often in a synchrotron. The typical size of a crystal for a data collection may be a zero point 0.3 into zero point 0.3 into zero point 0.1 millimeter. The crystals are bombarded with the X-rays, which are scattered from the plane of the crystal lattice. The scattered X-rays are captured as a diffraction pattern on a detector, such as a film or electronic devices. This is a simple diagram of data collection. So similarly, this is a third step. These data are combined computationally with a complementary chemical information to produce and refine a model of the arrangement of atoms within a crystal. The final refined model of the atomic arrangement, now called as a crystal structure, is usually stored in a public database. After the diffraction pattern is obtained, the data is processed by the computer, and the structure of the atom or molecules will be deduced and visualized. This is a simple diagram which shows how the atomic arrangement should be changes from the public database. So this is identification. This is identification of the typically different diffraction pattern from a protein crystal and a 3D structure obtained above in the crystal electron density map of the crystal. So this is the electron density map. This is second diagram shows the molecular structure. This is the uses. Normally you used to study many materials which form crystal like solid metal, minerals, semiconductors, as well as various inorganic, organic and biological molecules. Determine electron density, the mean positions of the atoms in the crystal, their chemical bonds, and various other information. Size of atoms, the length and types of chemical bonds, and the atomic scale differences among various materials, especially minerals. The method also revealed the structure and function of many biological molecules, including vitamins, drugs, proteins, and a nucleic acid such as DNA. So similarly in the HIV also we are using in the dairy science and for analysis of milk stone, X-ray analysis for milk powder in diffraction of solid, differentiation uh, differentiation of sugar in case of new material. So this is a limitation. Must have a single stable sample, generally between 50 to 250 microns in size. Optically, sample should be clear. Twin sample can be handled with difficulty. Data collection generally requires between 24 to 74 hours. So from that, I have to stop the X-ray basics of X-ray crystallography, in which the crystal structure how to develop. We have to see in the slides. So from that, I have to conclude my topic. So thank you.